Hey everyone! Today we're jumping into Fantasy Realms. It's this awesome, super fast-paced card game where you're trying to create these incredible combinations of wizards, armies, artifacts, the whole shebang, to build the mightiest kingdom imaginable.
And believe me, when I say fast, I mean it. We're talking about 20 minutes a game. So in this quick explainer, you're going to learn absolutely everything you need to play your very first game, right out of the box. So let's just dive right in.
Okay, so what's your objective? It's pretty straightforward. You're here to build the mightiest realm.
So how do you do that? Well, your entire goal is to build a 7-card hand that has the highest possible score. That's it. Every single turn you take is all about making that hand just a little bit better.
All right, let's get you set up to play. And don't worry, this part is incredibly fast. It'll take you less than a minute. Seriously.
First things first, grab that deck of 53 cards and give it a really good shuffle. Then, you're going to deal out 7 cards to each player. Once that's done, just place the rest of the deck face down. That's your draw pile. And make sure you leave a little space nearby for a discard area. And just like that, you're all set and ready to go.
So how do you actually play? Taking your turn is super simple, but the decisions you make, that's where things get really interesting. Let's break down how a turn works.
On your turn, you do 2 things. That's it, just 2. First, you take 1 card. Second, you discard 1 card. That means you always end your turn with 7 cards in your hand. Simple, right? Okay, so when it's time to take a card, you've got a choice to make. Option 1, you can draw the top card from the deck, face down. Take a chance. Option 2, you can take any single card you want from the face-up discard area. Now, there is one tiny exception. The very first player of the game has to draw from the deck. They don't have a choice yet. And this right here, this is a huge part of the game's strategy. The discard area is totally public. All the cards are spread out for everyone to see. So you're not just thinking about your own hand. You're constantly watching what your opponents are taking, what they're discarding, maybe even trying to figure out what they want you to think they need. It's a bit of a mind game.
Okay, so you're drawing and discarding, but how does this all end? And more importantly, how do you actually win? Let's talk about calculating your score. The end of the game is triggered by one simple thing, the discard pile. The second the 10th card is placed in the discard area, the game just stops. I mean, immediately. Pencils down, no more turns, it is time to see who won.
Scoring your hand is a 4-step process. First, you're just going to add up the base strength of all 7 of your cards. That's the number in the top left corner. Easy. Next, you apply all the cool bonuses your cards give you. After that, you subtract any penalties, and then whoever's got the highest score wins. It's all written right there on the card, so you don't have to memorize a thing.
Okay, let's talk about a few key terms you're going to see on these cards. First up is blanked, and this is a really powerful and, well, brutal effect. When a card is blanked, it is completely worthless. We're talking 0 points, no suit, no abilities. Its text is just gone.
So let's look at an example. The Wildfire card has a penalty that says it blanks the Forest. So if you end the game with both of these cards in your hand, that Forest card is now totally useless. It's just a 0.
So, is there any way to stop a penalty? You bet. That's where the clears keyword comes into play. Some cards have this special ability that lets you completely remove or clear a penalty from another card in your hand.
Here's a perfect example of that. The Great Flood has this nasty penalty that blanks other cards. But if you also have the Mountain card in your hand, it specifically says it clears that penalty. So if you have both of them, that penalty from the Great Flood just vanishes. It's ignored.
All right, let's switch over to bonuses, and this is a really important one to remember. If a card's bonus uses the word with, you only score that bonus 1 time. That's it. It doesn't matter if you have a dozen cards that fit the description, the with bonus only applies once.
Check out the Magic Wand, for instance. It gives you a sweet plus 25 bonus with any one wizard. Now, let's say your hand is full of wizards. You've got 3 of them. Doesn't matter. You still only get that plus 25 bonus once. Not 75 points, just 25.
Now, the flip side of with is for each. And this is where you can start to rack up some truly massive scores. When you see for each, you get that bonus for every single card in your hand that matches.
For example, the Rangers card gives you plus 10 points for each land. So if you manage to collect 3 land cards in your hand, well, that's an extra 30 points right there, just from that one bonus. See how that adds up?
Okay, so we're getting into some key rules now.
With all these combos flying around, you're bound to run into a situation where card abilities seem to contradict each other. So what happens then? Well, the game has a very clear order of operations to sort out any mess.
Yeah. So what happens when the card rules contradict each other? This comes up all the time when you're starting out. You might have one card that says to blank another, but a third card says it clears that exact penalty. It can definitely get a little tricky to figure out.
Luckily, the solution is just to follow a specific order. Think of it like a checklist. First, you handle any wildcards. Second, you use the Book of Changes if you have it. Third, you apply all of your clears effects. And then, only after all of that is done, do you apply any remaining penalties. Following this order will solve any conflict you run into, guaranteed.
And you know what? That's pretty much everything you need to know. The whole game boils down to that one simple loop. Draw a card, discard a card, and try to build the mightiest realm you possibly can. You are absolutely ready to play your first game. Have fun!